Hello folks, welcome to the final video. Having to adapt to the situation. It's raining, but I wanted to do it here because this is where we all started all those months ago, out in the back garden. A wee bit greener than it was the last time. So we've come full circle in a sense. Even wearing the same t-shirt, I have washed it since then now. So yes, so just a wee bit of an explanation first, okay? But before we start the explanation, as the great Paul Weller once said, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So you're going to say, Oran's going to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye to all the Tai Chi students for now. It's been a great experience helping Pizza here with all of this filming. Thank you very much.
Sure, isn't he great? Where would it be without him? The man behind the whole thing. Fantastic. So big thanks to Oran as well. Okay, so as I was explaining in the last couple of videos there last week, this is basically the end of the general tuition. I've been trying to just cater for as many groups as possible to keep it as general as possible. And I think even in the sense of where I am with the forum, I'm basically as far as I can go without being there, you know. So, and if I myself maybe just I would be going over and repeating stuff over and over again, which is probably what I do in class anyhow. But you know, it gets to the point where we need to be able to see each other, you know, and you get a lot more benefit from me being there. Having said that, there may be some of you and some groups who still need to not go into environments where there's other people. So there could be also a level of tuition. God, I'm fluffing the words, aren't I? But a level of tuition. Now, of course, there's a level of intuition all the time, bucket loads of it. But there may be a level of tuition that still happens online, but it'll be far more geared towards specific groups. Okay. So who'd have thought that when I sat down here in March that we'd still be doing it at this point? It's just crazy times we're living in. I said at the start, said at the beginning, and I maintain it now, the more of this you do, the more Tai Chi you do, the better chances you have of just building up your immune system. Not just Tai Chi, but as I said before, eating properly, getting as much exercises properly. Very, very important. We've been over a lot of stuff in the last few months. I've worked through both forums entirely. Now you've always got those videos to go back to, you know, so keep an eye on them. If you find you can't get back to classes or you can't get out, keep an eye on them. You know, you can still contact me. You have my contact details. You can if there's any doubts or if anything comes up you need to talk about, I'm always here, always, and always will be. You know, well, fingers crossed. So yes, general stuff. Again with forums, I know sometimes when you're in a group environment, like when you're doing it with me, I've got my pace that I do it at, you know, which is fairly slow. So try to be mindful of that. Try to be mindful of keeping your practice nice and slow. The slower it is, the more relaxed it is. You know, if there's anything in the videos that you're not sure about, or you're not sure that you've reached that level, then have a look at them, but don't persist with them. Don't stress yourself in having to know all the form or anything, whether it's short form or long form. It's said, and it's true, that a little bit of well-practiced form is better than a lot of form that you're a bit vague on and you're not confident with. So even if you had a short section out of either of the forms and you practice that, you're still getting the benefits. Okay? Now, the best thing is daily practice. I know it's not everyone is in that situation. Maybe we look at the time. Some of you may be back to work again, fine. But try to get practicing a few times a week anyhow. You know, I mean, I would say if you can get practicing 3 times a week, at least that's something. It's keeping you in the way. It's keeping that familiarity there. So it is. In terms of what's going on, I've got my own opinions, and I'm going to keep most of them to myself. But I would say that we're living in an atmosphere and an environment of great fear. And great fear can bring people back into themselves and can make them actually restrict themselves beyond the point that is necessary. And I would say just keep an eye on that. Just keep an eye on that. The old revolutionary part of myself would say question everything, okay, and be responsible. That's number one, is be responsible. There's a lot of information out there that is not necessarily true, and somewhere in between what we know now and what is actually going on, somewhere in between those two things lies the truth. I don't want this to turn into a lecture, because I'm not trying to lecture. I'm just giving you my perception of what's going on. So be responsible, but push your boundaries that wee bit. Obviously keeping in mind other people's safety as well, you know. So just try not to let this whole experience of what's going on at the moment, and you can see it happening in the world where it's all becoming fear and people withdrawing into themselves. Tai Chi is about, yes, it's about introspection, but it's also about connecting. And when we talk about connecting with other people, we talk about also, without getting too deep, connecting with consciousness, you know. So the more positive stuff you do for yourself, the more Tai Chi you do, the more you eat healthily, the more exercise you get, the more you're actually contributing to that positive consciousness, and it does exist. You know, we're connected when we're doing stuff like this, even when we're alone, when we're on our own, and our solo practice, we're doing that. So keep an eye, again, just back to form again, keep an eye on general points, and you would have seen me in a lot of the videos talking about weight apportionment and the knees in line with the feet and stuff like that. These are the important things. When you become familiar with a practice, then look out for tension, you know. Make sure we're not like this all the time, which none of us really are, but you know, that tension creeps in, and the more familiar you get, this is why it's beneficial sometimes just doing a wee bit of the form and repeating it. The more familiar you get, the more relaxed you become. So it's that thing about when you're rooting heavily on the one leg rather than the other, watch out for your alignment of your knees, the centre of the foot, and watch out for the upper body stuff. Always keep some sort of spirit when you're doing the form, so the head naturally upright, the shoulders and chest relaxed. The Qigong, the breathing exercises, the warm-ups, even on a daily basis or every few days, just doing those and a little bit of form. Again, it's all bolstering you. It's all helping. It's all helping the immune system, you know. I know some classes may be coming back. It's still all a wee bit vague. We're in the middle of August, and some stuff may be coming back in September. I'm still not 100% sure about that. But for now, just to go back to my original point about the videos, for now, this is it in terms of general stuff. So you'll find that if I have to keep on doing online stuff, it'll be tailored towards the actual group that you're in. Okay, even when classes do start back, some of my classes, some people may not be comfortable with getting together in groups. So we'll cross that bridge when you come to it, and of course it's all about your needs as well. So really, at the end of the day, let's just see what happens. So it's been a great experience doing all this stuff. A lot of the time I've been really thinking on the feet. Because it's a wee bit different from a class, where in a class I'm just really thinking about you there. Here I'm thinking about this camera, and if I get into the wrong position, Oran gives me an awful hard time, and so he should, like, you know, him being the cameraman and all that. So it's been a wee bit of a challenge for me to do it, but it's been a really enjoyable one. It's not the most natural thing in the world. In a class you have that interaction, so you do, and but it's been a really good learning experience for me as well, and it's been a pleasure to be able to keep in contact in this way with you all, and I can waffle on for the rest of the day because it's lovely out here. The rain pattering off the umbrella, you know, and just looking at all the green around me. And you know, this is good as well, just being outside. And that's been a big thing about, apart from the ones in the yard, which was a a fantastic experience, and I must say to Frankie and Christine that the hat's completely off her. They just opened what is their home up to me to use that. That's been a fantastic experience, but it's also been great being out in the open as well and doing stuff as well. So as I say, I'll leave it, or as I'm going to say, I'll leave it there for now. And I wish you all very well, and thank you to the groups who I work for, who've been supporting me through this time as well, and who have enabled me to be able to do the videos. You know, so it's really thank you a great deal for that, and thank you to all my students, and I really hope to see you all soon. So take good care of yourselves, and I was going to say stay safe, but I'll just say stay happy and healthy. Okay folks, all the best.